Hey y'all, it's me, Cletus McGillicuddy. What in the world is going on? There are symbiotes everywhere. What in the world am I supposed to do?
Well, yes, Cletus, that is a lot of symbiotes. That can be very scary. But what's happening is this week's featured location is Klyntar, the symbiote's homeworld. So let's take a look at some cards and a deck that you could use to take advantage of this featured location. So let's take a look at the location and see exactly what it does. As you can see here, after turn 4, it's going to merge your cards into a symbiote. Okay, so let's see what a symbiote is. Well, a symbiote is a 1-cost, 0-power card. So all the cards that you play here will become combined into one card with 1 cost and whatever power you garnered from each of the other cards. So what cards would be good at this location? Well, the first one that I like is Ebony Maw. These are all cards that have some downsides. The downside of Ebony Maw is that you can't play any more cards there. However, after turn 4, when that gets consolidated down, the 7 power would go to the symbiote, but the ongoing ability would not carry over. So you'd still be able to play cards there afterwards. Similar to Maw, the downside of the Lizard card is that it loses 3 power when your opponent has 4 cards there. So if your opponent doesn't have 4 cards there yet, when it gets eaten, the 5 power will transfer over to the symbiote, and you won't have the downside of the ongoing -3. Electro is one of the more powerful cards in the game, but because of that has a very powerful downside. On reveal, he increases your max energy by 1, giving you an extra energy to use each round. However, it only allows you to play 1 card. Once this gets eaten, the on-reveal effect will have already happened, but the ongoing effect of only playing 1 card will be erased. Killmonger isn't particularly a card with a downside, but what he does do is kill 1-cost cards. And if you'll remember, the symbiote is a 1-cost card. So if you save this card till the end of the match, you can destroy their symbiote if it's too powerful for you. Warpath's downside is simply that he gains extra power as long as you have an empty slot. So if you play Warpath in the location, then leave a spot empty until turn 4, then he'll have the +4 power of his ongoing when he gets eaten, giving you 9 more power to the symbiote, and then you're able to play cards to the other locations and no longer suffer the negative effects of Warpath's ongoing ability. Typhoid Mary is a powerful card at only 4 energy but 10 power, with the downside of giving all of your other cards -1 power. If you play her in this location, then she gets eaten, the ongoing effect no longer functions, and you get 10 power into your symbiote. Another strategy you can use is to try to disrupt what your opponent is doing. In this effect, you can add armor to the location, causing none of the cards to be destroyed, thus not combining down into 1 card, perhaps leaving some of their cards with powerful ongoing abilities continuing to disrupt their game flow. Scarlet Witch can change the location, potentially keeping some of those ongoing effects that they wanted to be removed in play. Storm can be a powerful card that not only helps you to lock down the location, but keeps whatever cards they have in play there in play and not combined into the symbiote. A turn 4 Juggernaut can throw one of their big plays into a different lane, not allowing it to combine down into a symbiote, thus keeping the ongoing effects going on at the other locations. This is the deck that I'm using for this featured location. It's a destroy deck, which will work well even if the location doesn't show up, but will function even better when the location does. So you can see that we have Deadpool, who when he's destroyed will gain will double his power. So if you destroy him early and then put him in there, you can get more power into the symbiote, or the symbiote can simply destroy him for you. The next one is Angel. If it's still in your deck when a card gets destroyed, perhaps in this location, it will send Angel out to that location. Nova, when destroyed, will increase the power of all your other cards by 1. When Bucky Barnes is destroyed by the symbiote, should be replaced with a Winter Soldier in that location, automatically adding an extra 6 power to that location. Carnage is good in a destroy deck, as it can destroy those cards and gain +2 power and then still be eaten by the symbiote later. Wolverine, when discarded or destroyed, gets played to another location. So Wolverine, when eaten, would then be placed to a location, and so you would gain the power of 3 into the symbiote without losing this card. It would simply move somewhere else. Venom is a staple in destroy decks, as he does essentially the same thing that the symbiote does, except that he starts with 1 power instead of 0. Killmonger, another good destroy for 1-cost cards that your opponent may play a bigger symbiote in there than you can handle, in which case you can simply destroy it, or you can use Killmonger to destroy your Deadpool or your Nova to gain the benefits. Sabretooth, when destroyed, would give his power to the symbiote and then return to your hand to be played again at 0 cost. Deathlock is another card that works well in destroy decks and will work here as well. You can play him to that location, potentially destroying your Deadpool or your Nova, beefing up Deathlock, and then having the 5 power moved into the symbiote, and then still able to play another Deadpool after that. Shang-Chi, if they get a large symbiote at that location, then you can play Shang-Chi after turn 4, after the symbiote's been created, to destroy their symbiote, leaving your symbiote still alive to win the location. And finally, of course, Death, who costs 1 less for each card destroyed this game. Hopefully there'll be a lot of cards destroyed either by you or your opponent in that location. And those are my card and deck suggestion for the featured location. Keep in mind the featured location shows up in 40% of matches for the next 48 hours, and during that time this deck should work well even if the location doesn't show up, but even better if it does. You can always slot in 1 or 2 of these cards into another deck simply to take advantage when the location does show up, and then run a completely different kind of deck. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to the channel to be notified when we get other videos loaded up for other locations or new cards. And also come and join us in Twitch. The link will be in the description as we play this deck this evening when the location goes live. Until then, have a great day.